Bricks and Minifigs is your one-stop shop for all things LEGO. Hit the link below to find a store near you.
I'm Mark Erickson. This is my build. It's called Rock Raiders. I don't have a better name for it, but yeah, this is it.
And this has some serious Rock Raider vibes to it. I mean, you look at all of the different kind of crystals and colors incorporated here. This thing is so huge. What is the overall size of this, do you know?
It's about 5 feet long, 5 feet, a couple inches, and it's a gray base plate deep. I think that's about 15 inches. So yeah, pretty large size, and I think it gets up to about 3.5 feet tall. Many thousands of pieces, about 300 pounds of Lego later. Yeah, big build. So
Where did you start with a build like this then, and kind of deciding how it was all going to come together?
So I know I wanted to make a big slice of Planet U, as it were. So the Planet U is the Rock Raiders, that's their whole storyline. But yeah, so starting from the bottom, you want to work with the deep inside the planet. It's warm. You got the lava, magma flowing. The further up you get, the cooler it gets. So you have rock work that's now cooled. It's gray. I wanted to do ice at the top, but I never got to that point. So maybe one day I'll revisit that strata layer. So yeah.
I think this is pretty spectacular already, but we can start with kind of that bottom section then. Take us through kind of some of the elements you incorporated in there, and then also the lighting and how that works with everything.
For sure, yeah. So started out definitely planning out the lava flow. That was important. That was going to kind of tie all the caves in the bottom together. So the lighting is provided by a big IKEA rubberized light strip. A lot of nice warm tone LED light, very cool. It's not going to overheat. You have a lot of transparent elements above that. So starting with clear base plates, going from yellow transparent bricks, orange and red on the edges to make it look like it's slowly cooling off. And a ton of black slopes and black bricks. I have no useful black pieces left in my collection at all. It's kind of hard to do anything else now, but yeah. And then trying to roof that off with a bunch of plates. So you see a lot of anti-stud connections on the bottom, but I think it adds a cool texture. So.
Absolutely, and you can see some of the minifigs are down there in the depths, exploring, mining. What are some of the scenes we have back in there?
Oh yeah, so because of the connection to Star Wars, Mustafar is one of the most famous lava places, right? You had to have a little Anakin and Obi-Wan in there having a little iconic duel in a cave. It doesn't make sense, but I love it. So.
And then, how did you decide on the colors for some of these other pockets of rocks and minerals here?
Yeah, so in the Rock Raiders theme, they only had the trans neon green color crystals, but in Power Miners, they expanded that greatly with blue and pink and red and orange, and I wanted to use some of those colors too, even though it's still just Rock Raiders. So a little bit of blue, a little bit of pink, a little bit of red scattered around the scene. No rhyme or reason, trying to make it look organic and natural and still kind of look like a slice of a geode. So.
Yeah. And then I think maybe the most impressive looking section is this green part up top, which just catches your eye so quickly. So you've got all those sticking out from kind of the back there. How is that attached into the build?
Yes, so you got a 360 ring around the outside edge. So not only do you have the crystals facing all directions, but you also have the outside plates. But on the back of that, you have almost a bowl shape of brick, and then just a ton of trans neon green and trans bright green crystals and other elements. You'll see like insectoid battery packs and other like minifigure heads, all sorts of weird Easter eggs in there. But then it's all illuminated by two 10-watt blacklight light strips, which really catch the light of those kind of blacklight sensitive pieces like neon green. So.
And then what's going on with the kind of the pool section over here, kind of a more watery look?
Yes, so in the video game Rock Raiders, there's lots of water and lava levels, so I want to have at least a subterranean lake in there. And you just have some snot trans bricks with some Christmas lights underneath. Makes a pretty convincing twinkly water effect. You also have a giant cave spider kind of looming overhead. In the game, there were only mini spiders, but the comics had giant spiders, which I wanted to capture in Lego.
I love how you've referenced so much of the lore of this theme that is not one of the more well-known Lego themes necessarily. How many years was this around?
So this build has only been together for about a year, and it took me about a year to make. So it feels like a long process, but it's only been to this, Tampa and this show, so it hasn't seen the light of day that often. But yeah, I've been a big fan of Rock Raiders for a while. I'm not the biggest fan, though. I know people who are even more crazy about this than I am. So, but I definitely like to tune into. There's a little bit of a Rock Raiders community on YouTube and Discord and all this other stuff. So I try to be as accurate as possible because they will get me if I'm not. So.
So this is a good time to talk about what are some of the iconic kind of elements, pieces, design features that made the Rock Raider sets kind of so unique and so cool that you can point out here.
Absolutely. So Rock Raiders came out in 1999. It has some really cool colors, including the dark turquoise color, which has actually been revived in modern Lego sets. So you see that color represented in the builds here. None of these were actually real sets. Part of a real set is here with this crane, but that's about it. Everything else is just taking inspiration from that. So the chrome drills, also an amazing element. You don't see a lot of Lego chrome anymore, so that was another crazy element of the Rock Raider sets from 1999. And I don't think these sets actually were very financially successful, but the crazy stuff that happened to them is really memorable, I think. So.
In Rock Raider's defense, there wasn't a lot financially successful around that era for Lego, so it might not speak about the theme necessarily.
The beginning of the darkest age for Lego, but there was some great pieces to be found.
Absolutely. And what can you tell us about this kind of walker build on top there?
Yes, so all the vehicles here are either my builds or some set stuff, but then this one at the top is actually a guest appearance from Moto, who's a good friend of mine. He was a fellow Lego Masters alumni from season 2.
We love Moto.
We love Moto. And we had a Christmas gift exchange, and I was fortunate enough to get his Secret Santa gift, which was, of course, Rock Raiders theme, because he's seen me working on this for 2 years now. And so, yeah, I got this amazing Rock Raiders mech, and I didn't want to take credit for it, so I made sure that it's built by Moto on that card right there. So those who know, they know. So.
Now, I want to make sure we mention around the sides as well, so maybe we can go down to the far side here first, and what is on this end?
So this was part of the grand plan to go taller, but on this side was supposed to feature a lot of little Minecraft Easter eggs and vignettes. So at the very bottom, you actually have a nether piglin kind of exploring a tunnel. If you explore the world of Minecraft, there's like a alternate reality underground that's all lava-y, and so that made sense in that strata. When you get higher up, you actually see a normal cave, and they're mining for diamonds, or about to argue over the diamonds. I don't know, this one with a sword. And so that's kind of capturing that kind of strata level as well. However, I was trying to go higher, never ended up making more Minecraft scenes, but a little bit of it ended up in the final model. So.
And since we're down here at this end, and maybe take a little peek behind the scenes here.
The ugly back end, yes. But yeah, so basically all the lights I tried to have plug in by USB, because if there were batteries in this thing, it'd be very difficult to replace those on a regular basis. It is a bit of a rat's nest here with all the wires, but I've managed to make some sense of it. You also have a humidifier here, which we can turn on really quick for you guys. Sure. I don't run it the entire time. I like to run it for about 10-minute intervals, but we'll turn that on really quick. Yeah. And it's just a household humidifier with water. I highly recommend anyone try this at home. Not to get their bricks too damp, but have fun with it. So let's see here. There you go. Turn that on. And from the front in the lava area, you should see some mist start to pour out now, too. And that has a really cool effect. The light then is captured by the mist and kind of spread around the cave. So.
I love that. That looks fantastic there. So that takes us around then to the other side, though. I know you've got some more hidden scenes here. So what's on this end of the build?
Yeah, so here's a little glimpse into the bottom of the lava cave, which actually travels the entire length of the build. And that was what really started the foundations of this creation. So you see a little Power Miners rock monster in there. He's not Rock Raiders, but I had to throw one monster in there. I didn't have time to build the full rock monster that I wanted to. The original piece in the Rock Raider sets is it has only one motion with the arm. It's like a brown lump. It doesn't look very good. So maybe I'll revisit the rock monster scene eventually, but yeah. And above here we have a nice little workshop area with it's not an official Lego Master Chief. It's a Lego minifigure that's been printed by Brian Rooney. And because the real one is about, I think, $800 on Bricklink.
Whoa.
Yeah, very rare exclusive figure. And this one is, I think he got it for $20. So, like, I can do that. I can make that happen.
So we've looked at a lot of the great details. What's the overall structure like of this thing, and kind of how much brick is there internally?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of brick inside. So basically, I thought that if I build it one piece, it'll be quick to set up. And that is definitely the case. It takes maybe 15, 20 minutes to set up. You drop it on the table, put the figs on, plug it in, you're done. However, I said it's like 300 pounds. Takes 4 guys to move it in coffin style with the wooden base underneath with the handles, stainless steel handles. So because it's so difficult to move, I'm probably going to kind of try to convert this to a modular build that I can move myself without having to get a crew of friends to help me and inconvenience all them. So yeah, there's tons of brick. I learned a lot. I learned so much, Joshua, how not to do things. So, but yeah, I think the final build does have a cool look, though.
That is really great. So we've seen fantastic builds like this on display at conventions. You also do a lot of great work for Atlanta Brick Co. So if people want to see more of your work, kind of tell people about what you're doing over there.
Oh yeah, so I have my own Instagram and YouTube, Mark Fallworth. But you can also see me pretty much like every other day on Atlanta Brick Co. TV, which is our YouTube channel for our store. And highly recommend you check out all the live streams and fun stuff we got going on there.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking us through the build here. It's very unique and from a theme that you don't see very often, so I'm glad it's continuing to live here in such an impressive form. Keep up the good work.
Absolutely. Thank you, Joshua.